Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. As I speak, there's an attack against our republic. In this video, I want to show you how this attack isn't just coming from the outside, but how it's being funded from within. Now, we're going to look at how our political leaders, or our moral betters, as they like to be referred to. I want to show you how governors and mayors are responding to this invasion in our country. And keep an eye out, because one of these governors or mayors might lead the state or city that you live in. But real quick, I just want to say, to get a really deep look at this invasion happening to our country, go check out this video I did a couple weeks ago called "They Don't Want You to See This." They tried to ban this video, and if you go watch it, you'll find out why. And that's where this story comes in. They'll probably try to ban this video as well. Real quick, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know, when you like this video, you're not agreeing with the insanity, you're helping push this video out to more people to help spread the truth. Check this out. Denver government may furlough its American staff to put illegals on its payroll. Can you believe this? City employing all of government effort aimed at finding work for illegal immigrants. Do you get it yet? This is how absolutely insane this progressive new truth is, where these governors are willing to literally fire, get rid of American workers, lay them off. You know, people are having a hard enough time already surviving within this economy that the left is just absolutely destroyed. And this isn't to say that Republicans are the saviors here, but you're seeing what happens when this progressive liberal agenda that brings along its new truth, not based in reality. You're seeing what happens when that has unfettered absolute control in our society. It's destroying us. And it's turning these politicians who literally take an oath to protect the citizens of the United States of America. It's turning them into America's number one enemy. They're willing to stand up here and furlough American workers in order for illegal workers to take their place within government jobs, because you're a liability. We don't know if you're going to turn against this new progressive liberal agenda. Since you can barely afford to feed your family, we'll replace your job with someone who has basically signed themselves up for being a Democrat voter if we give them anything and everything they want. You know, this isn't actually all that surprising. You're seeing an uptick of illegals getting preferential treatment over Americans in America. You know, it's hard enough for Americans to survive in this economy. And I'm going to show you some really heartbreaking stories here. There's no other way to put it. This is what we have allowed our political leaders, or moral betters, do to our country. Check this story out. Migrants in New York City will receive prepaid debit cards, not credit cards, for designated goods. Listen to this. New York City has allocated $53 million. So you have New York taking $53 million and giving all of that money to people whose first action in America was doing something illegal. This is absolutely incredible as well. Check this out. Illinois will allow some non-citizens to be police officers, but only those authorized to work and own a gun. Yeah, sure. Okay, they don't even want American citizens owning guns, but yet if you come into this country illegally, well, you can own a gun, you can work. In fact, not only can you work, but you can take American jobs away from Americans. And, oh yeah, why don't you be our police force as well? And then, of course, why are we spending millions housing illegal immigrants while Americans go homeless? That is a great question. In fact, illegal immigrants insanely demanding for more free housing, shutting down the Seattle City Council meeting. You know, I know people that live in California that make a couple $100,000 a year at least, and they cannot even afford to live on their own. They have to live with family. And this isn't just a California issue either. This is really the whole West Coast. Most states, actually, the entirety of the middle class being absolutely obliterated while the progressive left tells you that shut up or you're a bigot. So not only are Americans losing jobs in order for illegals to take their jobs, and Americans going homeless in order for illegals to take their homes. And not only are illegals becoming police officers while Americans lose their jobs as police officers, and not only is this economy destroying the middle class, obliterating it actually, crime is getting so bad that even the insane progressive left can't handle it anymore. And they have to go, whoa, we got to change our policies a little bit, not because they don't want this invasion to continue, but it's actually starting to affect them. Who'd have thought that this insane woke agenda would backfire? Look at this. Illegal alien crime getting so bad in New York City that Democratic Mayor Adams wants to modify sanctuary status. But this illegal crime coming from illegals, people whose first act coming into America was a crime, who'd have thought that there would be some that would continue to commit crimes? But wait a minute, wasn't Adams singing a different tune just a few short months ago?
It is my vision to take the next step to this, to go to the faith-based locales, and then move to private residents. There are residents who are suffering right now because of economic challenges. They have spare rooms, they have locales, and if we can find a way to get over the 30-day rule and other rules that government has in its place.
How absolutely disgusting is this? Mayor Adams in the left, completely open borders. We shouldn't have any type of protections over our country whatsoever. None, nada, zip, zilch. And then they'll turn around and say that, well, now we're being flooded so much that you, as an American citizen, all the things I've already showed you, but now the home you own. Well, you're going to have to open your home to these people who came here illegally because we can't handle it anymore on our own. Don't forget, he said that these people that are being basically destroyed by the economy, who can't even afford to live in New York anymore, must take these people into their homes. Meanwhile, story after story, this is becoming commonplace. Read some of these headlines here. You're going to notice that there is an uptick in, well, illegal crime. Again, who'd have thought? And it's just happening more and more every single day. These stories are becoming commonplace. You will see them constantly in the news. They are not going to go away because we have allowed many people come into this country with no background checks, nothing to check who they are, what their past history was, none of that. Now, I don't say this to be a downer. I really don't. But I want this to be a wake-up call. We must know that this isn't going to get better by us just going, oh, I hope it gets better. No, this is going to destroy you if you don't stand on truth. And we know that God is sovereign and God hears our prayers and that we should be praying daily. But also, we should be active in society. We should be active in the political systems. Christians should be a part of every sphere of society. And we should stand on truth. Lead with a biblical moral compass and allow God to lead our steps to change our society from an evil, degenerate one to one that honors God. Look at what Matthew chapter 15 says here. This is when Jesus is talking. He talks about it's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth that defiles a man. And of course, the Pharisees were offended because Jesus threatened the Pharisees' rule. And they hated that. So they did everything they could to try to take Jesus down, obviously. But it's funny because not much has changed. You're seeing that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this saying from Jesus. You see that all over our society today. Everything's offensive. Everyone should be offended by everything if it has to do with actual truth, standing up for truth, or just thinking for yourself. If you don't join this made-up truth, that is a personal truth. It has nothing to do with being based in reality. If you don't join that, then you're offensive. You're a bigot and you must be destroyed. And so that's exactly what the Pharisees did, was they tried to destroy Jesus because he wasn't going along to get along. Jesus came speaking the truth, and so should we. But look at what verse 14 says here. Let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a ditch. You're seeing our society fall into a ditch because people aren't willing to stand up for the truth anymore. People aren't willing to stand up for themselves and think differently than what this new progressive left is telling them to think. And so we go along to get along, and we become blinded by it. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And we have these blind leaders leading blind people. What's the worst that could happen? Well, decimation and absolute destruction of our society, of our country. That's the ditch we are falling into today. That's why we must wake up and give ourselves in prayer to the Lord and ask for God to intervene in what's going on in our society. But also, on top of that, we must stand on truth. Don't go along to get along anymore. Don't give in to this new truth that doesn't exist anyway. Stand up for truth. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community, I would love to hear from you regularly. And please hit that thumbs up button. You know, when you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.